Hey everybody, welcome back. Here we have the Falcon Electric glider. I was screwing around on the Wish site and found this thing on there, and they claim it'll fly for like it says fly for 1 minute. I'm hoping that means 1 minute in the air, not that it only lasts 1 minute per charge. But we'll see. It was like 10 bucks or something. So we're gonna give it a shot. I don't know if you've ever ordered anything off Wish. It takes forever for stuff to show up, but of my orders, this was the first thing to show up, which is kind of cool. Product configuration tells you about bending wings, how to make it fly right, tips on this and that, and yada yada. So there's some specs and whatnot. So we'll get it out of the box here and see what it looks like. It's a little smaller than I expected. Everything's always in metric, and I didn't do the conversions to see what size it really was, but I figured what the heck, we'll give it a shot. Okay, here's the little plastic cartridge, I call it. Just slid out of the box. I haven't really played with anything. This must be the charger. That's my guess. So you'll put, I think it said 3 AA's or something like that. It says charge the area. Let me come on, focus. There we go. Charge the aircraft until the light turns green, then continue charging for 5 to 10 seconds. Do not charge too long or it will damage the, I'm assuming that's Chinglish for capacity, but I could be wrong. Here's the little bits, some little decals, and a little wing. It's pretty cute. It's already got a little, I don't know if it's totally dihedral, what they call that bow. But yeah, so there's your little charge port in the bottom. Get the light on it just right. I'm hoping with this foam it's fairly durable. It's pretty thick. I don't know, we'll find out. I don't know if you're supposed to use glue to put this together or not. It says here just insert them. Check everything's square and straight. Blah, blah, blah. It says here, time in the air can reach 30 to 90 seconds. If we could get 30 seconds, I'd be impressed. But anyways, we're gonna try. So let me get it built, and then we'll be back, and I'll talk to you about how that process went. In the process here, I just want to point something out. This canopy color section, this dark circle that was on there, it actually goes, so the bigger section goes back, but it's, if you can see here, it has a couple perforations. Well, it's straight up cut here and here. So what you do, how I do it, is I get it on there along the center, so both sides are hanging out like you see here. Then you want to make sure you kind of rip those, separate those sections. And then what I did is I held this flap up and then pushed the front flap down. Then I push the rear flap down, and then I push this one. Because they will overlap a little bit because of the curvature, it's probably hard to see. But there is a little bit of a trick to it. I don't think I could do it while holding the camera at the same time, but you could probably do every section separately. You don't have to do the front and then the back or whatever like I do, but you will have to separate those, otherwise you're gonna have big wrinkles in it, and that's the point. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna separate it on those lines. I'll push this one down, then I'll push this one down, and then I'll push that one down. So you don't want to push them all down at the same time, and I'll let you know. The last one's sticking out, so you'll see I'll just push that down, and then that's it. All stuck down. So there she is, decals on. I don't know, I left those off because I don't know what it says. You never really know. But anyways, that's the completed bird. The only thing I did different is these little stars they wanted on the horizontals. I just stuck them there. The pieces slid in really stiff, really hard. Instead of pushing, I probably recommend pulling. So hold the fuse with one hand and then pull on the other side with your other one. I think if you push it, you're going to kink it. And this one goes in really hard. I kind of had to wiggle it as it went in. But I got it there. So there's the completed bird. Looks pretty good. Well, I guess we'll see how it flies. What I'll probably do initially is a couple test throws in the yard just to see how it works. I don't know when it'll be, as you can see all my snow out there, but with that little port on the bottom, I don't want to jam snow in there and have it short out. So it might be a little while before I can get to a test flight, but anyway, it's built and it's ready. I'll get some batteries in there and try charging it up, and we'll see what it does. I'm assuming once it's charged that the motor just takes off, because I haven't found an on-off switch on here yet. So I'll read the instructions and give it a shot and let you know. Okay, so I did plug it into the charger, and it actually runs quite a bit of time. I did a couple hand chucks in the house. It actually flies decent. I don't really have enough room to give it a super hard throw. But anyways, let me see if I can plug it in here, and I'll try to show you guys what happens. I got my 3 AA's in here, so I'll plug it in. And whoops, you can see it went to green. Then you're supposed to count to like 10 seconds or whatever. I'll let it go for a few here. I've just been kind of doing some samples, but as soon as I unplug the charger, it's gonna go. So I'm gonna hold on to the wing. You can see it's ripping. It's making some pretty good air. I don't know if it'll scoot across the floor. It actually does. So I'm kind of curious to get this out and fly it. Like I said, I don't want to get snow in that little port and screw the whole thing up. So I'm pretty curious. It runs a long time. Anyways, I don't want to bore you guys with listening to a motor hum, but that's it. Next stop will be chucking her up in the air. So I don't know when that'll be. Like I said, I maybe get desperate and I might put a piece of tape over that and try it in the snow anyway. So anyways, we'll be back. One more thing before we hit the field. I was reading this here, and you can see the flying in adjustment, you know, of adjusting the turn, adjusting the ailerons, elevator, stuff like that. Make sure the wingtips are bent up. Mine were pretty bent up out of the box, so I wasn't too worried about that. But the info here about shorter charge times will be shorter flight times. So something to keep in mind if you've got a small field or your backyard. My yard's pretty small too, so I'll probably start with a shorter flight time and then work our way up as we get it adjusted into doing what we want. So you can see the brightness of the indicator reflects the charge level. I didn't notice a whole lot of difference in that, being it's an LED, but we'll get a little time on it and we'll see how it goes. So it'll be interesting. One thing I thought was funny here: if the airplane is hanged on the tree, don't climb. Too funny. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Here we go. I just did a little test charge on the prop. It's pretty much done. But anyways, I'm gonna give it a little test flight here. Got a little bit of breeze. A lot of the snow's gone. So I'm just gonna kind of hand chuck it really with no motor power and see how it flies straight or what it does. And then we'll know how to tweak it from there. So, whoa.
I can't fly without it.
A little bit of wind, so it's kind of hard to film and do this at the same time. I probably should put a GoPro on my head, but anyways, give it a little toss.
It can't work.
I'm just gonna throw it a little harder this time. It's probably just gonna do a loop. So I'm gonna come out here, and here goes a hard throw. I think it'll fly okay. I'm gonna give it a little charge and see what happens. Okay, so I got my little helper here. All right, move your hand away from the propeller. Hold on to it so I can charge it. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here till the green light comes on and then pop it right back out. Green light came on, pop it up. Okay, buddy, give it a little, no. Well, I guess that works. Not bad for a super short kind of test flight here. There's a little bit of a wind, not too bad. No, it will. Okay, I'm gonna give it a big charge. So I'm gonna put it in here. Once the green light goes full, there's the green light's coming. I'm gonna count to about 5, something. We're gonna have a big charge now. So here we go, unplug it. Oh yeah. Just a little toss. Oh my goodness, I hope I get that back. That was a mistake. Yeah, we're gonna lose it in the trees. It went out in the trees. Oh, there it is, still flying. It just went down out there. Oh, we'll charge. We'll go get it. But hey, it works pretty well. It works really well. There it is. I thought for sure that thing was going to be toast in the trees. Got her. Hey, thank goodness. Okay, well that's a pretty big thumbs up. That flew pretty well. I think I'm not going to wrap it up here yet. I'm going to see if we can get to a bigger field and we'll charge it more next time. So we'll be back. Okay everybody, here we go. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed, no promises, but we'll try to do a short flight first, see how it flies here. I got to a new field. A little bit of wind today, but not bad. But we'll plug it in, do just a little charge first. See if I can hold this in my hand. Then we'll do a big charge and see what happens. So, come on, focus. Plugged in. The light just came on. Oops. There's just a tiny little charge. Wind's kind of screwing it up a little bit, but it did pretty well. Okay, that kind of worked. I did a little tweaking on the tail. I tried to give it a little twist, make sure the elevators are right and everything, and we'll do a round 2 test here. So I'll try to video it as I can and hold it at the same time here. So as soon as the light comes on, I'm going to unplug it. There it comes on. Got some power. Here we go. It's a little better. I'm honestly a little worried about doing a big flight out here because after what happened in my yard, if that thing's really going to run for a minute, I just may not get it back. But it definitely works. I'll give it a little bit more of a charge and we'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We're going to go bigger charge this time and hopefully it's not a mistake. Green light, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Got some power. Thing flies really well. See, she's going. I'm gonna have to go chase it. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is trying to come back. It does some big circles, but the wind definitely blows it around a fair bit. Awesome. Very cool. Definitely with a little more tweaking and trimming and whatnot, I think we could get probably a lot more flight time, but I only did it for 5 seconds after the light came solid, so there's more life in that thing. I think you can go up to 10 or something like that. The longer you leave it plugged in, the longer it's going to run for. So, but there is a limit, and I don't remember what that is offhand. But anyways, I'm giving this a thumbs up. This is a pretty fun little airplane from Wish. But like I said, be aware of how much you charge it as to your area you're flying it in, because you don't want it to go in the trees and disappear like last time. So anyways, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Give me a comment, let me know what you think, and please subscribe.